So what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Today we're here with our brother Jamaal Ali. Now, I found out about this brother because he sent me an email. Yes, we do go through our emails. I checked out what the brother was doing, and he was speaking, to people. And I said, let's reach out to this brother. He seemed like a good brother to bring on the show. So Jamaal, thank you for joining us on the show today.
Pleasure, man. Pleasure being here, and thanks for having me.
All right, Jamaal. So tell people just a little bit about yourself, and what you do, man. And they definitely gonna see that flag back there, so you gotta let them know everything.
One people, one land, what's that? Yeah, one destiny, one Africa. That's what it's all about. But I'm Jamaal Ali, born in Macon, Georgia, raised in Cincinnati, Ohio. Have worn a lot of hats over the years. Played some college football, college basketball, coached basketball on the little league, high school, junior high levels. Just a lot of experience. Owned a catering business in Atlanta. Like to call myself a chef, but I'm just a glorified cook. But I'm a keynote speaker. I'm an Amazon best-selling author, and now I am venturing into the realm of coaching, using my coaching experience, my sports coaching experience, to dive into success coaching, life coaching, lifestyle coaching. So when COVID hit, my speaking business, of course, took a nosedive. Nobody's hiring speakers. And so I said, well, what am I going to do now? So I got into podcasting, something I thought I'd never do. And so that's when I started to take a closer look at you in terms of what you're doing, what you're bringing to the table. And, I love your passion for what you do and your passion for our people. It's a beautiful thing, man. I said, you know what? I think I can enter into this space and offer something of value to this particular topic of repatriating back to the motherland. So here I am, man.
All right. So, since you're talking about repatriation, when was your first trip to Africa?
Well, I haven't gone yet, but I'm scheduled to leave out of here November 27th. I'm going to Kigali, Rwanda. I'll be there for 88 days.
Oh man, you going 88 days? You know what,
yes,
man?
Sir.
God, I wish I was going with you right now for 88 days. So what you gonna be doing in Rwanda, brother?
Well, fortunately, man, through our brother Kellen, I was able to hook up with a real estate investor, Ty Nichols, out of Tampa, Florida, who has yeah. So Ty's doing some big things in Tampa. He also has a real estate company in Ghana, and he's moving that company from Ghana to Kigali, Rwanda. And so he's wanting some key people to help him open up that particular office. And, I was fortunate enough to be one of those. So we're going to go there and learn the market, learn how to move property there in Kigali, and invest in some real estate and look at some other businesses while we're there. So it's been a blessing in disguise, man.
Yeah. And one thing about Rwanda, Rwanda, where they come from with the Civil War to, being definitely one of they know Kigali, especially one of the cleanest cities on the African continent. They came out with their own cell phone. I know they building more gold factories. Rwanda is definitely doing their part in East Africa.
They're doing some incredible things, as you said. When just 25 years or so out from the Civil War, man, to where they've come now, it's unbelievable to have that kind of growth in that short period of time to be where they are right now on the world stage. So, as they say, when the student is ready, the teacher appears, right? I have been looking at Senegal and Gambia as the places to go to first. As fate would have it, I was introduced to Thai, and I just love the program. And for me, it was just in alignment for what I'm looking to do on the continent. So I changed from West Africa to East Africa. But anywhere you go on the continent, they say is great. So we're going to find out.
Yeah, man. And everybody's motivation, or at least what you're doing on the continent, is different. Like for me, wherever I go, I have to be in a area that's good for business, because for me, I got to continue my business. Make our funds, pay our people that's on the continent, of course, right? So I can't be just in a rural area in the village with no internet, or slow internet. I have to be more so with a moving and shaking. So everybody's Africa experience is going to be different. Me, I'm a city slicker. I'm not. Yes, I grew up like more so. Like I said, in our community, it was more so. I guess, yeah, rural. Yes, tough point. But now I'm all in the city. So that's kind of my speed, even on the continent. Nairobi, Johannesburg look more my speed. That's what.
Yeah. Well, it's when I really start looking at Rwanda and just the layout of the city and the quality of the real estate and things of that nature, man, I was like, wow, this it's upscale, man. I mean, I've seen some properties there. I'm like, this is Rwanda? It's serious, man. So, and like you, I need to be somewhere where it's progressive. I got great internet connection because I'll need to be doing some stuff online every day, and so that's important. So, it's more developed than what I was looking at in the Gambia. No slight on Gambia, but it's just a more developed city and country with more resources to offer people who are looking to go there from a business standpoint.
Yeah, and for what I've, like I said, when I look at my research on the continent, and I'm always doing a lot of research, right? Some people, and I noticed they get in trouble. And I just watched a video last night from a sister that went to Ghana, and basically she didn't plan right. So when you don't plan right and make the proper steps, yeah, you gonna get ate up in Africa. That's true. As a Black American, you will, because you go from this here to. You can't go to a not developed area or an area that where it may be some development, but it's not exactly what you need. I'm a firm believer. I tell Black Americans that, listen, most of you like cities. I think you need to stick to the bigger cities, and you just need to plan right before you go.
Yes, the planning is key, man, and it's to have a network and know somebody before you get there, before you hit the ground, to have a network of people that you're already connected with. So a lot of the things that you're going to need, a lot of the security, a lot of the know-how, the language and all that is already done for you because of the network that's already in place there. And that was one of the things about the Gambia that excited me as well. It's a couple of brothers and sisters that are doing extremely well there. And are grounded there. So I felt like I had a network there as well. But with Ty and what he's doing there, I got a built-in network. So part of going to the Gambia was looking at some business opportunities, right? So now I'm going to Kigali, hitting the ground with a business, so that's a powerful situation. So just blessed and fortunate to be in that type of environment where I can hit the ground and have a business that I can tap into and start developing from day one. So that's it's a blessing in disguise, but I'm ready for it.
Well, since you're going to Rwanda, are you going to get that East Africa visa when you go there?
Yeah, man, I have to, man, because I hear people over the years have been saying, man, I've been to 10 African countries, 15 African countries. I was like, man, how y'all do all that? That takes some time and some money, man, but being in Rwanda, I can hit the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania. All of those are close enough for me to visit from Rwanda, right? And so when I come back here to the States, I can say, man, I've been to 5 African countries. So that's another powerful thing about Kigali, Rwanda as well. Kigali, from what I'm told, is in a center of Rwanda. So the Congo would be the closest. Ty was telling me, hey, you can jump on a bus and be there in a couple of hours, right? And so I'm excited about the opportunity to visit those other countries as well. We got some brothers from the States doing some great things in Uganda. Kinganda is his YouTube channel. So it's a lot going on in East Africa as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And like I said, one of 2 of my employees are in East Africa. I have one in Kenya and one in Uganda. So we're supposed to be going to Kenya actually in January. for some business. So, I said, I can't wait because you doing 88 days, man. I'll hit all them countries up. You know
Yes,
what I'm
sir.
saying?
Yes, sir.
You got plenty of time to hit all those countries up.
That's right. I'll be able to work and play, so it's just a beautiful mix. Now, is the African Tigress, she's is that your contact there?
I know Tigers. Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
Tigers is straight. Like I said, Tigers is
Yeah.
good people. Like I said, when I went to Kenya, she was even driving us around, and like the African Tigers are real good people. Like I always tell people that she one of my favorites. Now she's out there in Kenya.
Okay.
Yeah, Nairobi and all
Okay.
that. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Beautiful. Now, I seen you doing I believe it was in Kenya where you were at this particular museum or something that was showcasing what was it about? This is not too long ago, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, right? You just came back, didn't you?
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. That was when we went to Kenya last year. We went to that place, Fort Jesus. I think that's
Yeah,
probably what you
yeah,
saw.
for Jesus. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What
Uh-huh.
did you think
Yeah.
of that, man? That's the first time I heard of it when I seen you do the
Yeah,
video.
I didn't know nothing about it either, man. And so I just got some education because we only educated one way.
That's right.
And our education is so screwed up. That's why it's good to go talk to other people, just even for me to learn how vast the slave trade was, because all black people here think that all of us came from West Africa. West
Right.
Africa was a shipping point. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Arabs did take Africans as well before the white man started the slave trade. There was at first the white man wasn't even involved with it,
That's
and
right.
he was getting Africans from the Arabs, and then was the white man was like, you know what? I ain't using these Arabs. I'm gonna get them myself.
Go straight to the
So
source.
yeah. So that's why you have us have some sometimes some Bantu in our background and all of that, because the slaves came from all over, but some folks, we only come from West Africa. Like, not all of us.
That's right.
Some of
That's
us come
right.
from all parts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I read an article on I believe it was New York Times,
Mm-hmm.
where this sister was really defending her grandfather, who was a prominent businessman and slave trader himself. So we have to live with the reality that yes, Africans were involved in the slave trade, but the story goes that they didn't know the extent to which the end result would be. And I can kind of see that. But the reality is, our people were involved in the slave trade. So that's just an interesting dynamic that we have to deal with. We have to come to grips with. And again, as you just mentioned, most people are not aware that the Arabs, man, 400 or 500 years before the white folks got involved, the Arabs was doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, they really and to be real, they're still doing it to this day. The Arabs are still involved in slave trading Africans today.
Like, you look at what they're doing in Libya, you look at how they treat Africans in the kafala system.
Yes.
And I noticed that part of the slave trade is never discussed. We always talk about, the Mzungu and what he's done, right? But we never talk about the Arabs. And, Arabs, some of them, even you still call black folks Abid. Like, if you catch them in America saying the word Abid, they're calling you a slave. And I always wonder, why are we so quiet about that part of it?
It's very interesting how they get a pass. But I think, matter of fact, I know that the majority of that is because people just don't know. People just don't know. Now, I'm a pretty sharp individual myself. I know a little bit of something, right? But certainly don't know. I know less than I think I know, probably, right? But a brother was sharing with me about 3 years ago, man, about this Arab situation and in the slave trade, right? I was like, no, brother, no, man, you no, it ain't like that, man. And so after I got off the phone with him, I started doing some research, and I was like, whoa, this brother was on point, and I'm the one that's wrong, So when you look at what's going on in Libya right now with the fall of Gaddafi, man, Libya is in a bad situation. And the people who are getting the worst of that are people who look like you and I.
And the sad part is, and even Barack Obama had to admit this. He said the greatest mistake of his presidency is the situation with Muammar Gaddafi.
Yeah.
And if you go watch all the videos of Gaddafi after Barack Obama won, he was so excited. He's like, "Yeah, we can finally work with America." Barack Obama's a son of Africa, and he just couldn't wait to work with Obama. And Obama was the one that gave the go ahead to, even though he explained that Hillary kept on telling him, I guess. And to the point, say, "All right, yeah, just go ahead." You know, you hear that story about how Hillary just kept on and on and on and on and on. It wasn't originally like his idea. Yeah, go get it. You know, it wasn't even that. We know it was behind Gaddafi trying to bring all the continent to a golden hour, and putting out the West completely. You know,
isn't that ironic, man? That a black man is front and center of taking out an African leader that was for African people. And as you say, you know, his initial intent may not have been that. But when you're playing the game on that particular level, you don't get to be president of the United States without being highly, highly compromised. In fact, it was President Clinton. Clinton said, by the time you get to be president, everybody else is making all the decisions. This President Clinton said, right? So we have to realize that position is not what it seems to be. And let's think about it from this standpoint. See, you know, when Barack Obama became president, black folks lost their mind. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but in a very, very real way, because it was such an emotional thing, because something that we thought would never, ever happen in this country, a black man being president in the United States, oh no, they ain't never going down. But when it happened, people lost their minds emotionally and didn't really critically think about what was really going on. And here's my take on that. Let's be real. The United States is a system that has been run, controlled by white supremacy for 400 years, right? That's the system that we live in. So are we that naive to think that a white supremacist system is going to let a black man control their interest? It doesn't. If we thinking critically, it don't make any sense that this system, the way they doing blacks today, killing us in the streets right now, today, would let a black man control their interest? Come on, man, we have to think about what's really going on with that. And so it's not what it seems. And whether you're a white man or a black man or any kind of man occupying the office of president of the United States, you ain't running too much of nothing, because that's a controlled position. It has to be, in order to keep the system of white supremacy in place. So for 400 years, this is something else we got to look at as well. This system of white supremacy is designed to last forever. So if you got a president every 4 years coming in, changing up the system, then that disrupts the continuity. See, in a system, you got to have continuity. You can't be changing up every 4 years going in a different direction. So this smoke screen that they're giving us in terms of Republicans and Democrats is just a smoke screen, because guess what? Behind the Republicans and the Democrats, you have white supremacy. You have the same system. So when you go back to Abraham Lincoln and George Washington, come all the way up to today, it's almost equal. The Democratic presidents and the Republican presidents. I think the Republicans may have like 6 more presidents or so, somewhere in that area, over the Democrats since George Washington. So it's pretty much equal across the board. But the Democrats would have you to believe that the reason why the country is in the position that it's in is because of Republicans. The Republicans would have you believe that the reason why the country is in the position that it is because of the Democrats, when they're both part and parcel of the same system that's run by white supremacy. So it is what it is. We got to understand that.
Well, you know, you mentioned when Barack Obama got elected. I remember that. I mean, like verbatim. I remember people was so excited. Like you said, we thought, even me at the time, I thought we would never see a black family in the White House. You know, it's just like it was just floored us. We weren't even thinking like we think today about policy and this and that and the third. Now, if today's people that have that, you know, they're awakened now to go back to that time period, Barack Obama probably would have got more done. Could have been more pressure on him to do more from the black community. But we kind of had that. We were still in that mindset as a community at that time. Black representation was good enough. You know what I'm saying? That was the previous generation's, you know, thing that, hey, and I understood why they thought that way, because they thought, well, if people actually, for the people, go in there and represent as a congressman, as a senator, as a president, whatever, well, man, we're going to get some things done, you know, for Black America. But unfortunately, you know, with this system, they'll say, oh, we'll give you somebody black, all right. We'll give you Clarence Thomas. You know what I'm saying? He black.
Come on. You see? Yeah.
So now we have to say, okay, no, it's policy is what we need. You know what I'm saying? And you talking about Gaddafi. You know, they were smart with using Obama, because let's say if Trump would have did it, it would have went to hell.
That's right. That's right.
Black folks would have lost their mind.
So ironic that they used a black man to carry out this deal. So now it has a different flavor to it. As you said, if Trump or Bush would have did it, the world would have been up in arms, right? But this is politics. This is the way politics goes. And so we have to remove our emotion from these situations, man, and think critically about what's really going on. And so I tell people all the time, I say, look, you got a bird, the bird got two wings, right? Whichever way the bird goes, both wings follow, right? And so you got one coin. On one side, you got Democrat. On the other side, you got Republicans. You got two sides to the same coin. You can never separate the head from the tail. So they play this game with us with Democrats and Republicans, which feeds right into the number one conquering force on the planet today, that is divide and conquer. So America is already divided based on political party, Democrats and Republicans. So we automatically defeated just by that system of divide and conquer. So we divided all the way down the line. Therefore, we're conquered as a people, white people included, right? But they still have to have the ability to take advantage of white privilege, but they conquered as well.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, because I don't know if you ever, at least for me, if you're paying attention to the climate, I've never seen white folks this divided in my life. Like, white folks are at each other's throats. I mean, I don't know if you're watching how white folks are killing white folks in the streets.
Yes, sir.
Over this Democrat and Republican crap. And, you know, I tell black folks to say, listen, take the words of Donald Trump, stand back and stand by. Don't get involved with them. Let them be in the street duking it out. Because, you know, because black folks, you know, they like, oh, I want to save Mr. Charlie. Now let Mr. Charlie duke it out. You know, we need to stay out of it, because their system is imploding on them now. Yes.
When you look at the Soviet Union, okay, it didn't fall because of war or any of that. It fell from inside because the system itself was flawed. And so the United States is the same thing. The system is flawed. And so now we're seeing the results of the internal infighting and all this turmoil going on with these white folks. So everything has to run its cycle. Everything has to run its course. It probably won't happen in our lifetime, but America is in for a rude awakening. You know, it's in for a rude awakening, especially with the advent of China and how they are positioned right now to be the number 2 power in the world. And so China is looking to take over the world through, guess what? Through Africa.
Yeah, and this is why I say this much. If Donald Trump, for some reason, wins the election, that would shock me. But if he wins the election, he's gonna start a conflict with China, because he already want to do it, because he blaming them for messing up, you know, his economy in his mind. You know, and also the Africa thing, they don't like that. You know, that's why all of a sudden, you remember Trump came in talking about Africa was a poop hole countries, and all of a sudden he's trying to do a trade deal with Kenya. What happened to that speech? No, they saw
Right.
they put a bug in his ear. They say, wait a minute, China is getting too deep into Africa, and what's going on? And most African countries don't want to deal with America, and because I've talked to them in business, and they say the reason why they deal with the Chinese is because if you deal with America, take their money, now you got to have a pride parade in Kenya, right?
Right.
But if you deal with the Chinese and take their money, like, look, just take the money. I don't care. Do what you do. Keep your culture. But China does a debt trap thing. So it's like sinister in how they do it, though.
Very, very much so. Well, United States is still the lead dog in Africa in terms of how they're positioned and infiltrated. They have, the most military bases there. So United States is the lead dog, but China is coming in. Now they've been there for 50 years. It ain't like China just coming in there. China has developed relationships over 50 years. Now things are taking off to the point where they're doing some massive deals with infrastructure, building railroads and bridges and all this kind of stuff. I think it was in Tanzania, maybe, where the Tanzanian government had to call it off because China was in a position where they were. It's a large port there in Tanzania, I believe. Had China continued with this, they would be in control of the largest port on the continent, right? And so this is how they're moving. So China ain't playing. They coming in. Here's another thing about African Americans that we have to learn as well when we're talking about politics. So we vote with our conscience and we vote with our heart and emotions. Other folks come to the table with money. See, when you go to Washington with a suitcase full of money and say, this is what I want to have done, what you want to have done gets done. Politics is about money, man. So this is a capitalist. Capitalism runs politics. Politics don't run capitalism. So when George Bush won, Bush 2 won, they said he raised a war chest, something like $740 million, right? President Obama comes behind him and raises $785 million. So why you got to raise all this money to run for office? Because this is a paid position. This is capitalism controlling politics. So where does a black man in America who comes out of nowhere, that's not even a full-term senator, ain't got no bills under his belt, ain't did nothing politically, rises to the highest level of the land in the world and becomes president of the United States and raised $785 million. And they want us to believe that was all through, the majority of it was through grassroots movement. But see, I checked the records. And you know the game that these companies play? The Fords of the world, the General Electrics of the world, the Googles of the world, they give money to both parties. So it don't matter. Whoever get in, they still win. They give money to both parties. And so Obama's campaign was heavily funded by corporate America, just like they always did. So there wasn't no change there. But they try to feed us on this idea that it was a grassroots movement. And then Obama ran on this campaign. Yes, we can. Yes, we can became no, we didn't.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You look at when the bailout happened. We didn't get bailed out as Black America. The banks got bailed out. Some of they too large to fail. I mean, like, wait a minute. Black America is not large enough to have that security and saying we can't fail. I mean, Black folks lost a lot during that housing crisis.
By design.
Yeah, of course. We always suffer. We suffer the most. That's why, for me, I try to learn the game much as possible, and apply it. But I'll definitely spread my wings, like you said, in the continent and wherever else I'm gonna go to, because I don't want my eggs in one basket, brother. I just don't. Right. I think that's a horrible. Nobody that invest their money, put all their money in one company.
You're right.
And that's what we do as Black folks. We put everything in America. Then if America go to hell for whatever reason, we screwed. Yeah. I mean, I think you should invest your time, money, build here in America. You can build in Africa. You can build in the Caribbean, wherever you want to go. You know, I got some brothers that's in Colombia, Brazil, wherever they at. You know, they build.
Yes.
So
yes, that's right.
yes, sir.
The world is spacious, man. The world is spacious. But you know, the psychology of the human being is very, very unique. I was sharing with Kellen yesterday that there was a study done that showed where the average person in the United States or in the world actually lives and dies within a 7-mile radius of where they were born. So most folks ain't going nowhere. Most folks ain't traveling some folks ain't even traveling out of the state, let alone the country, right? And so it is what it is. So we have to expand our horizon. And I wish that I had this mindset 20 years ago to go to Africa and do something, you know. But you know, it is what it is now. Now I know. 20 years ago, I didn't have the vision. I didn't have the consciousness to even want to go. I just say, man, I would like to go to Africa, but that's too far away, man. That's a long way, right? And it is a long way.
Well, also 20 years ago, I'm pretty sure your bank account was a lot less than what it is now too.
You're right.
Yeah. I mean, you know, for like just as men, you know, by the time you get in your late 30s and definitely by 40, you should be already set financially.
That's right.
On a great trajectory financially, I would say.
Exactly.
So as you get in 50, 60, whatever, I mean, you should only just get even more and more money.
That's right. And you got less restraints.
Yeah, the kids and got grown.
Right.
You know.
Exactly.
Yes, sir. Yes,
it's a beautiful thing.
So Jamal, can you tell people, you know, how to you know, get to your website, check everything that you have going on. That way people can check it out.
Yeah, you can go to jamalspeaks.com, JamalSpeaks.com, jamalspeaks.com. There you'll find information centered around my speaking, keynote speaking, as well as coaching. I just started a YouTube channel. Don't even have any content on it now, but it's called Blacknificent TV. And so I'm going to be rolling that out soon with content. Blacknificent TV, where the magnificence of blackness lives. So that's the tagline. So when I looked at your show, it's like, wow, man, this brother's on it, man. He's bringing some ideas. He's bringing some content. He's bringing some real world stuff to the fore, where people can see what's going on with us as a people, not only here in the States, but around the world. So I was really impressed with what you're doing. And so I want to take my hat off to you on that. I want to commend you for that, brother, because watching you is a reason why I got this sign up here. Right.
All right. Well, yeah, good. One Africa is good. And also, you know, your YouTube channel. Make sure when you in Rwanda, you filming all that and post that content, because a lot of Black Americans want to know and want to see what's going on, and you could be the person to help them get there. So make sure you please film all that, even with your cell phone.
For sure. And so I'll begin with Kelly, man, to set this thing up properly. So when I hit the ground over there, I'm planning on doing the video every day, and you know, and just kind of trickle the content in so people can have a chance to look at what I put up today. You know, give them a little time to look at it before I put something else up there. So real excited about being able to share information while I'm there and share my experience and because I know for me, watching other YouTubers, man, it has really inspired me to say, you know what, I got to go to Africa, period, end of story, right? Just looking at the experiences that other people are having. So yes, I'll be sharing, and hopefully I can add some value to the conversation, where people can be more inspired by looking at my experience as well. Yep.
All right, so Jamal, we definitely thank Jamal, you know, brother, for coming on the show today, and you be blessed.